Spiritual Psychics TV is hosting the first annual recognition of achievements, acknowledging those who dedicate their lives to a spiritual act of kindness. Spiritual Psychics TV, bringing spiritual people together.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, our first service of 2022. I'm really grateful to welcome you here, and I'm very pleased to have a meeting with us today who I've known for a little while, but we speak mainly on the internet. And we've got Lawrence Saville here from Paul Christian Spiritualist Church.
Good morning,
hello there. You're on the...
Oh, hello. Unaccustomed as I am to being online, good morning, everybody, and welcome. But more importantly, a big warm welcome to you wonderful people that are physically here in the church today. God bless you all. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. So, friends, it's great to be back. We're looking forward to very positively to a great 2022. There's a lot going to be happening amongst our spiritual community, and we must also support Spiritual Psychics TV for the work they're doing. And if you wish to join, become a patron and a VIP member, there's details are out there. Please join. And I know a member of our church did that over the weekend. So really do that. They play a very important part in our spiritual community. So friends, I would now ask Lawrence to open our meeting with prayer.
Thank you, Ray. Good morning again. If you could just still your mind just for this short time, please. Leave all your cares, concerns, worries and fears at the door of your own temple. And as we reach out to link in with that divine energy which flows through all things, let us give thanks. Give thanks for all that we have within our lives. It is easy to look at our lives and want for more, but all that we need is there. All that we want is achievable or not, but it is not ours to decide. And we ask, as we join together now, I would ask those great emissaries of spirit who have stood on this platform before me, that I may be open to their energies, open to their presence, to bring about that truth, that knowledge, that life is eternal, that there is no breakage of the continuity of life, just different phases. And in and through the name of the divine God, no one is ever forgotten. No one is ever left behind. We are all one. We are all united because we are each and every one of us a reflection of the divine within. So we leave this service now in thy tender care and keeping, and help me to keep my mind clear, that of a mirror, so that all that is cast upon it be reflected truly. Amen.
Amen. Friends, we now continue our prayerful thoughts for healing of mind, body and spirit. And I've got some, I want to say sad news, but it's not sad news, but it is sad news. We've been praying for a young man in this church the last few weeks called Tom, who had brain surgery. And I found out a few moments ago that he passed the spirit. He's a stepson to Sally Worker, who we do know here at Wimbledon Church. And it's if I could just read a note very briefly. Happy New Year to you all. It's with great sadness, I have to say, Tom left us in the early hours of yesterday morning. The hospital had organised recipients for his organs in the adjoining rooms. He saved 3 lives with his heart and kidneys, helping others until the very end. Thank you all for his prayer. And also, his mum and dad are pleased that we can mention that this morning here, but they're saying how devastated they are. But if we could also think of his girlfriend and their 4-month-old baby. And his girlfriend is in devastation and distorted, and her name is Luna. And so we send out healing to all of those in that family. And also we continue our prayers for Kathy, Chelsea, Jackie and Ray, Stephen and Kelly, Margaret B, who's a member of this church and has COVID at the moment, Mark, Eileen, my sister-in-law who has COVID, Sylvia, Pam, Jill, Amber, Ivy May, member of this church with COVID, Keith Shepperton, Jessica, the Malkin family, Bernian family, Amber, Sally Worker and Edna, and also the Toomey family, who Brenda was a member of Hatbridge, our sister church, Hatbridge, but had come here, and she passed the spirit Boxing Day. And but it's a great relief for her because she was struggling, and she's reunited with her husband Ron, which is the thing she's, and it said to me a few days when she was at the church Hatbridge fair in December. So she said, I just want to be reunited with my Ron. So she's reunited. The family, as you imagine, are devastated. So we send out healing to all of those, and we ask our Father, Mother God to send the healing ministers to them, to comfort them, to strengthen them of mind, body and spirit, to heal those who we've asked for this morning, if it's according to divine law. Into thy hands, O Lord, we commend the spirits of thy children to thy safekeeping, knowing with thee at all times thy will shall always be done. Amen. Can we now say the Serenity Prayer, which will be coming up on the screen in a moment? God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So we're now going to ask for the collection to go round, and there'll be some more adverts on the screen.
Spiritual Psychics TV. Online. Spiritual Psychics TV isn't just an online broadcasting service, we also offer many features via our website. SPTV offers a unique directory that uses geolocation to find your nearest reader or venue, just by using your postcode. The Academy section allows anyone to upload and create their own spiritual courses within minutes. For those who like to read, then our online magazine area will offer just that. The SPTV shop enables anyone to start their online shop, be it to sell used or new items. You can also find our schedule and information about our shows.
Spiritual Psychics TV, bringing spiritual people together.
Spiritual Psychics.
Thank you all very much. And I'd like to thank you all of you who donated last year online, and I thank you for that. The money does go to the work of the mission of the church, and not my Barbados fund, as I jokingly once said, and people took it serious. It really doesn't, because Barbados is too far for me to go. So in all honesty, friends, thank you very, very much, and we continue the work of the church, and we're hoping to keep our doors forever open. So thank you. Now ask Phil Shaw to come up and give the reading, please.
Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year to you. I think it's rather apt at the beginning of a new year to talk about an affirmation to positive thinking. So I chose to read a poem called My Mind to Me a Kingdom Is by Edward de Vere, Earl of Oxford, written in 1585. My mind to me a kingdom is, such perfect joy therein I find. that it excels all other bliss that worldly affords or grows by kind. Though much I want which most men have, yet still my mind forbids to crave. No princely pomp, no wealthy store, no force to win the victory, no wily wit to salve the sore, no shape to feed each gazing eye. To none of these I yield as thrall, for why my mind doth serve for all. I see how plenty suffers oft, how hasty climbers soon do fall. I see that those that are aloft, mishap doth threaten most of all. They get with toil, they keep with fear, such cares my mind could never bear. Content I live, this is my stay. I seek no more than may suffice. I press to bear no haughty sway. Look what I lack, my mind supplies. Lo, though I triumph like a king, content with that my mind doth bring. Some have too much, yet still do crave. I little have, and seek no more. They are but poor, though much they have. I am rich with little store. They poor, I rich. They beg, I give. They lack, I leave. They pine, I live. I laugh not at another's loss. I grudge not at another's gain. No worldly waves my mind can toss. My state at one doth still remain. I fear no foe, nor fawning friend. I loathe not life, nor dread my end. Some weigh their pleasure by their lust, their wisdom by their rage of will. Their treasure is their only trust, and cloaked craft their store of skill. But all the pleasure that I find is to maintain a quiet mind. My wealth is health and perfect ease. My conscience clear, my chief defense. I neither seek by bribes to please, nor by deceit to breed offense. Thus do I live. Thus will I die. Would all did so as well as I.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you very much indeed. Now I'm going to ask Laurie to give the address for the morning. Thank you.
Good morning again, and thank you, Phil. Absolutely beautifully read, and I did have a little smile there because in my prayer it brought in about the difference between want and need, and that thread of energy followed through in the reading. I absolutely adore this. Here we are, friends, a new year before us. Now, what are we thinking? Are we thinking this is going to be better? Is this going to change? Is this going to be worse? So many thoughts going on in our heads. But we're here as spiritualists. We're here in that knowledge, that understanding that there is more, that this life here, this time here on this earth is ordained by ourselves. I am a very firm believer that we choose to come here at certain times with the availabilities of experience to enhance our own soul, because we are on this soul journey. When we're here gathered like this, be it here in the flesh or at home virtually, we can express our soul. We can express that yearning within, which was so eloquently put there in the reading as well. And how true are words, aren't they? Because it's so easy, isn't it? In this material world, we are fed and we get this fodder daily on our TVs and everywhere about you need this car, you need that car, you need this home, you need that holiday, you need this food, you need that. And the truth is we don't actually need these things. We've been put into this time now where reflection is paramount. We've all endured, as somebody so well put, our own 40 days and 40 nights within the wilderness. And I can go along with that because we've had to shut ourselves off from our friends, our family, but more importantly, from all these influences out there, these things telling you how we should be living our lives, what we should be striving for, when actually all these things can be answered just by sitting in the peace, sitting in the power, sitting in the silence, and conversing with God. Now, this is a name not used very often. We see so many things being pushed across on the radio, on the media, on different aspects of follow this philosophy, follow that discipline, follow this, follow that. And I think for a while, everybody seems to have neglected everything comes from God. Everything started with God. That God energy flows through everything. It is part of the makeup. It is part of us. We are reflections of that divinity within. In the beginning of creation, we had the Dayan Shohan, which were the original 7 rays. The ray of love was the one embodied later through Jesus Christ. And love is that most important, most paramount energy. It really is. And it's not the love that we have become accustomed to. I love those flowers. I love that shirt. True expression of love. To be able to give of ourselves and give to other people. Give what is needed and what we can. Be it a friendly voice, be it healing thoughts, matters not. It's giving through that expression of love. And this world needs that love so much at this time. You know, we're looking around. My journey up here this morning was slightly alien, I must admit. I'm used to travelling on trains pre this time, and I had a whole train all to myself, followed by a whole coach all to myself. I felt quite privileged, but I also felt wrong-footed as well. And actually going out and meeting people again, I've actually struggled. I was very fortunate to have been taken out for a meal the other day. And I found it quite a struggle to actually talk to people again. So I fully understand and fully get, and there's so many more people worse off than I am. So I am blessed for what we do have in our life. But it is in through that trust and that knowledge in God, that God essence. You know, and there's a name sometimes people don't want to say. It's like coming into church. Oh, I don't do a church. Doesn't matter, you know, don't hang yourself up on the name. It's the God of your own understanding. But that divine energy flows through all things, and it shows that we are all one. As I say, at this time, it's very easy to look around our world here and now, and feel sorrowful for that. But if we cast our minds back pre this time, you could hop on a plane and 5 hours later and walk amongst people who went without the basics of life. 14 people living in a shack, 10-mile walk to get fresh water. That energy now is coming out and being expressed across the world, not in a vengeful way. I never find any vengeance of anything coming from spirit or from God, but it's just again an expression of that love to say, look, things could be a lot worse. There are trials, there are tribulations, there are mountains to climb, but you can do it. You can do it because you have that faith. And we may need to pause on that journey at times to catch our breath and just to still our minds, but it's always a progressive journey. So as we look now at this new year, 2 days old already, and fingers crossed, nothing's gone wrong so far, so that's a really good sign. We've only got 363 to go. We can all do it because we have this knowledge, we have this understanding that life is eternal, that the life between lives that we will return to will be a time when we can reflect and recompense for all that we have done and all that we have said, and to fit us better for our next part of our journey. So when we look out at this world today, don't think of the fear, don't think of the worry, don't think of the concern. Think better as I did this morning when the sun came up, and it's like, thank you for the light returning into the day. Seeing people here that I've only met online and being able to say hello to in the flesh and to hold and to touch. every night that we spend in shelter, every meal on our table, every glass of fresh water that we draw for our tap. Don't be neglectful of these things. Find that time to sit, to give thanks, and to acknowledge the divinity which runs through everything, and know and take succor and comfort from the words, all will be well. Thank you.
Thank you. Lovely address. Thank you very much indeed. Well, friends, we're now going to come to the part of the service where Laurie will demonstrate the gift of the Spirit, to bring in those two worlds just that little bit closer. If Laurie should speak to you online, please remember there's a 20-second delay if you're answering. And if he's speaking to you here in church, please answer clearly with a yes or no. Please don't feed the medium. We've all had a big Christmas, so we're all extra large. So please be positive and honest with your messages. So if Laurie says, I've got a man here with a parrot on his shoulder and a wooden leg, you just say yes or no. Don't say that's my Uncle Long John. Just say yes or no. Laurie will deal with that. And we've got a chap here called Keith Mornan saying, a lovely service, gentle and blessed man who spreads the word of Christian spiritualism with dignity and integrity. That's got to be you.
It could be you.
No, not today, not on a Sunday. No, well done. No, thank you. And thank you, Phil, for your reading. It's really hit mark with people there. So, Laurie.
Good morning again. Here we go. And please remember, everybody sat here in the church today, unmute yourselves. All right? We seem to have lost that ability sometimes to communicate. So don't be afraid to use your voice. It's a God-given tool and take pride in it. And as I'm waffling away here, I'm just waiting for a link to be building up. I know I've got a male energy coming in here. As he's coming in, I know I've got a quietness to this gentleman, and certainly not a person that would push themselves. I say there are people that walk into a room and go, da-da, I'm here, and other people come in quietly. And I know this gentleman would have been on that quieter vein. I do feel a father's love as well coming through, and the fact that he has pushed that through, I know that that love bond here is immense and sadly missed. I think I need to be talking to the lady there sat with you in grey. Yes. Oh, thank you. Hello. Would you understand this, please? Father in spirit here and the love bond between the two, the connection there. Yes, because that was just straight in there, the love. He didn't want to give anything about himself. He just wanted, I want to give my love to my girl there. And I know, thank you. As he's coming in stronger here and I'm sensing him more and more, I know I've got a nice humour with this gentleman as well. And this wouldn't have been a derogatory humour. This would have been a gentle humour. And in fact, he said a lot of people missed it. He said, I'd throw the odd thing in and some people just straight over the top of their heads. He said, but I didn't mind. So I know I've got also a very generous man here as well. Very generous in his thought and very generous of how he was around people. He would always go out of his way to try and help and do what he could do. I know I've got quite a dexterous man here as well, because as I'm working here, I know I want to be working a little bit more with my hands. So I know I would have got stuck into a few things. I wouldn't have been afraid of a bit of DIY. Is there a link here to carpentry as well, or something going on? But I just feel I just want to have the plane out as well, and not with your father. Okay, hold on then, thank you. Tell me about the world here, thank you. Obviously at this time we are racked with concerns. He's talking about you and he's bringing in a very strong healing energy around you, and I want to be working around the upper back here and down the spine as well with this energy that he's bringing in for you. But also I see he's working here on very much an emotional level as well, because I know that emotions have been, Christmas time does evoke the emotions. The minute the carols start, Lawrence starts blubbering every year without fail. So, but I know that this Christmas time, the emotions for yourself have been very strong. And the absence of people within your life has really sort of like hit home. Yeah, and it's been, I can't. It's like I want to say something to somebody and I can't because they're no longer there in the physical. And that's really, really, really sort of like hit you more this time round than it has before. But he's just saying, I sit here and talk to you all the time. I sit here. Did Dad have a favourite chair here, like a wingback chair or something going on?
Oh, yeah, Dad's always had bad chairs.
Right, okay, but I know I'm sitting in my chair here and I'm feeling really comfortable there. And he's just saying, I'm there all the time. I'm always talking to you. When you're in that mindset of the mind is stilled by mundane, and I see around a sink activity here of drying up, the thoughts go out. You've caught glimpses of things in the corner of your eye and dismissed it as your imagination, correct? Yes. He's just saying it's not your imagination. We're all here. We're all here. Can I bring in a Labrador as well? A big Labrador dog coming in? Okay, right. Wait, sit. Okay, I've just got a big Labrador, but I feel that I'm being moved on there. Would you understand Rosie being called out? No, that's okay. They're moving me on. That's fine. They do this. Come back in. Thank you. This is Dad's word. I'm always there for you. I am always there for you. I am never more than a thought away. I love you more now than I did when I was on earth, if that was possible. Everything I can do for you, I will do my best to do for you. All right? But I love you. I love you. Maybe that again. He's just brought forward. There's an old-fashioned rose, blue moon. Yeah, he's just brought one of those in, that beautiful blue moon rose, and he's just given you a perfect one there. Thank you. Okay. I've got the name of Rosie has been called out, and also I've got a link here with a Labrador. I'm not saying I've got a Labrador called Rosie, but if I have, happy days, that's well on. But I'm not feeling the link here actually in church, so I think I do need to put this out online at the moment. So if anybody out there can understand this link, a little bit more, please. I also feel a sisters in spirit energy coming in here around this information. And I know with the sister, in our terms, we would have said gone well before their time. So I know that this passing was the double tragedy within the life. So while we're waiting for people at home to catch up there.
Someone called Sharon Thomas. My dad had a Labrador and his mum's song Blue Moon.
Okay.
Mum's song.
Right. As I say, I want to be working here with the sisters' energy in spirit, because I know that the sisters' passing was a huge shock, and very just out of the blue, and everything seemed to happen so quickly. Sorry, can you come closer? Everything seemed to happen very quickly. It was sort of like I just got over the shock of finding out that my sister was ill before she had gone. It was that quick. Take it back. The impression that I'm getting here as well from this sister in spirit, that just whatever it was that took me over was right the way through me. It just shut down everything in me, but it was just the speed of it. And she is reaching out to the sister here on earth.
Someone's put, I had a dog called Rosie and the other was called a Labrador.
Okay, and right, and this is a lady, and I do feel I want to be talking to a lady, and as I can see, that picture which has just gone, so we're not going to look at that anymore.
I had a cat called Rosie and I shout for her a lot, but I didn't really know that. Right, is the Lady Jo.
Yes, I do feel I want to be working with Jo there. Now, when I'm saying sister here, sister energy coming in could not just be of the bloodline. This could be stepsister or somebody that I loved as a sister, but I know that love bond is very paramount there. So if you could just confirm that, Joe. Again, just to recap, I'm so sorry. Just to recap, the illness just came on so fast and it was just too much to assimilate before things just totally broke down with this lady. She's just saying, thank you. I was as shocked as everybody else. She said, but honestly, when I stepped out of my body, I was so relieved.
She doesn't have a sister.
Right, but if you can understand that on a sister energy, so we're looking at a friend, come a bit closer please, thank you. I want to be in more of a work environment here, and I know I've got a great rapport because this bond here is very strong. I also feel there is a link here to either hairdressing or something in the beauty line, and if you're looking at me on camera now, you know I know nothing about that, I do not. But in that area, Joe, so if you could confirm or deny that, please, that would be absolutely wonderful. Talk about our life here now. The reason she is reaching out, because within your life at the moment, I know we are going through a very changing environment, but your life itself has got a lot of turmoil going on. She's not opening up to why that is, but I know that your personal, your space, your world, there's just so much going on. I just feel emotions going on. I feel change at hand. And it's quite fast, it's quite upsetting, and it's quite distracting from the world. So if you are still there, Joe, if you could just say yes or no, please. But this lady had a very nice way of talking. She had this ability to let you do the talking and to let you bring out in you. Okay, you're not resonating. Okay. I need to finish off this link then, with the spirit's not being acknowledged too well at the moment. Wherever this message is meant for, please, please do understand that this time is necessary. It's like a clearing that we're having. Oh, why am I doing that? It's a clearing that we're having in our life as well. And I do feel this will also incorporate the end of relationships, the end of assignations with people. But I know this lady in spirit is talking so much and just saying that it's so needed. It's a cathartic event. And she's saying, just hang still at the moment, because again, thank you, all will be well, all will be well. The change is needed. And you are aware of that, she's saying. But I need to dismiss politely, thank you, and move on. Right. Sir, if I may talk with you, sorry to point with you. I've got a lady building up here, thank you. I've got a lady building up here, and as she's coming in, I can feel there was a condition here, what's it called? Arthritis going on with the hands, because I feel that my fingers were getting that crooked way towards the end of the life. I also feel a little bit of a circulation problem going on, because I'm just feeling the cold in my extremities a lot. And trying to get warm. I know I would have put on socks over socks and things like that just to keep warm. Not that I was living in a cold environment, but it was my body that was just kept telling me that I was very cold. Do you understand this lady coming through for you, sir? Partially, yeah. Partially, right. I do know that I wore glasses quite a lot, and I had to keep adjusting these glasses. Now, I've started doing that, moving them about on my face, and then that actually incurred a physical change of glasses because my eyesight deteriorated. And I'm seeing here there was a You laser them off. What are they called? Cataracts. There's a cataract thing going on because I'm just seeing she's got the most exquisite blue eyes, but just around the edges there, you could just start to see the age wearing on that eyes. But I know I've got this greatest affection for you as she's building up here more strongly. I know she is just walking up to you there, and she is giving you a gentle squeeze and saying, it's all fine. It's all fine. All right. She's taken me into your life here at this time, and she's quite impressed by your cooking. Your cooking. She is quite impressed by your cooking. I'm afraid I've moved into that phase of my life where I'm a bit of a chicken ding man now. If it doesn't go ding, it's not cooked. But I think I need to take a leaf out of your book, sir, that you actually get stuck in with the cooking and you make things. Do you know what? I'm getting this information. I'm feeling so embarrassed by the way I'm living at the moment. But but she really is, you know, she's just like, this is so good. And also, as she takes me around where you live, you're incredibly tidy. Incredibly tidy. Yeah, could you move in with me, please, and teach me a few of these tips, because I am the antithesis of what you are here. But she's got a lovely humour with her, and as she's coming in now and she's getting this more, she's no stranger to here. She's no stranger to spirit. Correct? Yeah, she is no stranger to spirit at all. She's not telling me in what context, but I know that the spirit world and I were at one before I rejoined. Sorry, she just corrected me. When I said before I rejoined, she said, I didn't rejoin, I never left. She said, I was always in spirit. So also, I've got a lady here with knowledge as well, and I want to be going back into the names of, I've just heard Estelle Roberts being called out, and people like that of that generation that this lady would have been aware of and well read on the subject as well, because I'm seeing a big pile of spiritual books here, and they are really meat and two veg spiritualism, I call it. Absolutely beautiful. Would you understand the name of Ron being called out, please, here? You knew Ron, but I feel the Ron energy is coming in here. Totally different to this lady who's just very gently stepped to one side. Excuse me while I have a quick drink. Totally different energy. I know I've got a man's man here with this Ron, and I know I've got a strong personality as well, as I'm linking in with the Ron energy here. I would be the one at the bar, you know, in charge, what you have, doing all that, you know, the focal point. You've got a group of 20 people, you would remember Ron. He's just popped in here to thank you. To thank you. You lent him great support, he's telling me, in advice. Yeah. He knew. He said, yeah, I had all this persona going on. You know, I had my front man going out there all the time. He said, but at times when I really needed to link in and talk with somebody to give me some sage advice, he made a beeline for your door. And he's come back to say, thank you for that. And he's also joining in with the compliments on the way that you manage yourself. He said, we are so impressed. He said, it is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But he's just taken me back a little bit through your history. And I know with you, sir, too, that spiritualism is very imbued within you, the whole process. You sit and converse with spirit at night, don't you? Yeah. And you hear back things that you know could not come from your own mind. And that is absolutely beautiful. That really is, to me, that's true mediumship. That is true mediumship, to be able to sit and converse, not just with our loved ones, but with other agencies, and to receive that intuition and that guidance. Because you come out of these conversations with things to think about, they're telling me as well. You think that's a different perspective. I like that. I admire you, sir. I really do. I absolutely admire you. And the love that's coming from Spirit Side of Life here is sublime. It is, it's just sublime. Thank you for being here today. Thank you. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Is that it? I'm joking.
Suddenly I hit the age of 63 a couple of days ago, and I'm realising I'm getting old.
I've got 60 coming up this month. I'm like, how did that happen? What happened there? Anyway, why am I doing this? Okay. There's a lady stepping forward here, and my hands were instantly put into the prayer position. I do know with this lady there was a very strong Catholic conviction very early on in life. And as life progressed, with this lady, the Catholic side, although it had been drummed in as a child, and in my formative years, I was Catholic through and through. I know towards the middle age of life, I moved away from the Catholic side. I found the dogma, I found the instruction going against what I started to feel spiritually about people. And I started to question things. And I know that with this lady, as that progressed, the Catholic Foundation actually did her a lot of benefit with the orthodoxy, because that was the bedrock on which the spirituality grew from. And she would disagree with some of the orthodoxy, but put it in a more spiritual aspect, a more enlightened understanding. I do feel also that I've got a mother's energy here as well. Am I in here? Lady there, could you understand this, please?
Understand what exactly? Can you repeat that, please? What you just said.
Yeah, mother in spirit, yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. It's a strange way of putting it.
Best to my knowledge.
Oh, right, okay. And also, early years would have been a Catholic background to the lady, but later years, I've got a much more encompassing feel about this lady that I would have incorporated other things. Is that resonating with you, my darling?
I can understand that, yeah.
You understand it, but does it resonate? Does it speak to your soul?
I can understand it.
Wonderful. Let me check. We go back within the family. We got a Henry, please, and I would have been Henry, not a Harry or anything. I would have been a Henry, and I am. Where am I? I am very much in this area. You're looking puzzled, so I don't think.
Yeah, I
don't
know any Henrys at all.
Thank you. My mistake. My apologies. If anybody here you got an Uncle Henry?
Yeah, and my mum was a Catholic. I don't know what she ended up doing.
Okay, that'll do. Wonderful. Apologies, my darling, all the way from heaven, and there were 4 chairs out. Never mind. Thank you for speaking up. I knew it was here. I knew it was here. Right. With yourself, in not of this time, not of the COVID time, but within your world, your personal world, I feel like I'm treading water. I feel like I'm not getting where I want to be going. Yeah, and I feel like I'm just getting a little bit frustrated with it, because I want to do a little dance here, and it's not a happy dance. And I feel this energy is related to those around you. It's like, I want to be doing a good, you can't see that at home, but I want to be doing a good kick up the what's it, yeah, and just to get things going, all right. This lady is laughing, all right, the mum energy, she's laughing at this because she's got a great humour about her. Yeah, right, good girl, I love her, she's probably with my mum then. But I know there's this good humour there as well. But she loves you. And she said, never forget that. I feel there was a distance at times, all right? She said, but I never stopped loving you. But she said, what happened was me, all right? But it was through poor choice. Yeah, and she said, I don't want to go in that. Don't want to go in that. She said, but what does matter now? I've got a real accent here as well because this is South London, yeah? Yeah. This is the way I'm beginning to talk with her as well. Thank you. I never stopped loving you, but we had to stay apart. We had that distance, and she said, okay, don't take the bloodies out, thank you. A lot of it was my pride. A lot of it was my pride. And she said, do you know how much I regret that now? She said, don't be the same. Don't be the same. She said, she said, I robbed some of the golden years out of my life because, you know what, the B-L-O-O-D-Y word is coming in ever such a lot. Yeah. She's saying, I lost the golden years that we should have had together. And she said, but it is my fault. It was my fault and my pride. But she's coming around you saying, don't be the same. Don't be the same. Yeah, get out there and say things. If you want to say to somebody, go away, say go away. If you want to say to somebody, I love you, say I love you. All right? Don't miss those opportunities because none of us knows what tomorrow brings. All right? Yeah, I know it came over ominously, but it's not ominous, but it's a very truism. We don't know what tomorrow brings. We don't know saying hello to somebody is the last time for either side. But I know that with you, she is so strong there. I love the character as she's getting stronger up here. I really do love the character. And I know that you are a chip off the old block as well. There is so much of mum sat there. She's just going, this is so funny. She said, yeah, she was funny. We just had that conversation as well outside, yeah. She said she is so much a chip off the old block, and I am, stop swearing. I am so proud of her. I am so proud of her. I can't turn back time. I can't go back and make it all better. But what I can do is promise you I'm always here for you. All right? I love you. I want to be taking a gentleman to task over something with her. There's a male energy on Earth, and she's sort of like a bit, I want to have a word with him. She's doing that as well. Do you understand this? Yeah. Well, I know there's one in particular. She's a bit like, all right. Yeah, okay. She's just expressed this, not amazement, but absolute appreciation for you where you are, all right? She said, you've done so well. You stayed on the straight and narrow. Don't thank me as his mum. You stayed on the straight and narrow. Could have gone one way or the other. You haven't, and you're making a mark. This is an ongoing, not made a mark, you're making a mark, all right? People come to you to talk, don't they? Yeah, and people come, here, what do you think of this? Here, what should I do about that? She said, that's my gene expressing itself, and she just went like that with that. She said, but you're doing it so well, all right? I want to put you somewhere in quiet. All right, I just want to put you in a peaceful place. I want I feel like I've got a lot going on around me all the time. And I feel like I just want to find those little times, those little areas of just peace for you. Because, yeah, okay, it is not wrong to ask for things for yourself. All right? We often give to everybody else. But do you know what? She said, once in a while, take your slice of the cake, she said, and just sit back and enjoy it. All right? Find that peace, because it's important. We've been having a little bit of a tummy issue going on here. Yep. She's just talking about that. She said, nothing, you know, we're not doing prophecies or, you know, doom and gloom. She said, but just be more aware of your body. If you feel your body's, you know, kicking off a bit, take that rest. Take that time out, all right? And just be yourself, okay? It's a D word, everyone else, all right? And look after yourself. All right, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I love this decanter. That's great. Yeah.
She got pointed, I think, sure.
Oh, yeah. Don't go for that. Put up with the gin. I'll just put up with the gin for now, then. Oh, cut that off. Oh, okay. There is a gentleman building up here as he's coming in. I'm picking up a condition with this man, and I'm going round here to, I'm not too far back for the kidneys, but I feel here more with the liver side. There is this liver condition going on. I am hearing the word cirrhosis as well of the liver. And I know that this was a long, drawn-out process with a lot of treatment and a very debilitating condition as well. I'm seeing him later on in life here. He's probably about my height, but I know with this liver condition, it caused quite a significant drawing of the face towards the end, and some associated discoloration going on as well with this gentleman. I know also that I did enjoy a cigarette here because I'm seeing the nicotine fingers. I'm not feeling a direct father connection here, but I do feel in that area. So we could be looking at uncle or a male energy that was around me in a lot of the time growing up. Does anybody in here understand that, please? Nope. Okay. My brother had, yes, Fiona, thank you for speaking up so quickly. Well done, darling. You know, it really is important, people at home, that you do get those responses in. I know we have the delay, but to falter drops the energy. Yeah. I feel as this gentleman is coming forward, I feel almost an apologetic energy as well coming in with him. I do feel like I've got to say sorry for things. I do feel actually I've got to say sorry for things that I did during my lifetime here. Is it self-care or not? Thank you. I feel a regret about this man as he's coming in stronger here. He's got a very gentle way about him, but I know that on the earth plane, if we had looked after ourselves a bit better, if we had invested more into our own presence, our own personality, things may have been different. I can't promise they would have been different, but things may have been different. You can understand that, Fiona. Thank you. Do you know what? He is just so sorry. I'm really having to have good conversation with him because the remorse there is just so strong with him. The expression of, I'm sorry I put you all through that. He passed out of line as you would normally understand with a family. You know, we have this vision in the families of the succession of passings, and I know that his passing was well out of line with that. So I know that when he did leave, there was so much grief and upset from family, both younger and older than him as well. And he said, I was there, and he said, no. He's got a nice, simple way of talking, which is fine. He said, I was just stood there and I was gutted. I was absolutely gutted by it. He said, I never imagined in all my time that I was thought of that way, because this guy hasn't got a lot of, he's got quite a low self-esteem going on here as well that he's expressing through me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and, you know, I really did, he said, okay. He just said, I can't apologise enough for putting you all through it. I really can't. He said, but it happened. It's happened. It's happened. He said, please, please, please take my most fervent apologies for what happened here. He said, I am so sorry, and I know that you are in contact with parts of the family that are disassociated from this chap as well while he was on the earth. And when the opportunity arises, just to say that you've heard from him, and he is working on his own healing, which is to bring up his own character, his own sense of purpose and sense of being, because I just, on the earth, I really didn't think a lot of myself. I really didn't. But that's changing. I'm being drawn as well, and I think this is with you, Fiona. I feel there's two boy children on the earth that he does visit, he does go to and visit. I know with these two boy children, there's a very strong bond between these two, and he's very keen on keeping that energy going between the two, that bond, because he said, I broke my bonds. I inadvertently, without malice, but just broke my bonds with the families, and it was my own fault. And he said, I don't want to see any history repeat itself. I know around Christmas time he was talked of. In fact, somebody had a little glass of something and raised it to say, Happy Christmas, wherever you are. And he said, wherever I was stood there right next to them at the time. And he said, and I'm just so pleased to be able just to say a little to you right here, right now. And thank you. I will be back. I will be back in other messages. You will continue to get evidence from me that I am around. And he said, and already today, communication has been very big on his healing side, because to come in on this energy now is helping him heal. Healing isn't just for the physical body, healing is for the spiritual body also. And do you know what, Fiona? The difference in his energy now to when he first came in. When he first came in, it was like a storm at sea, and now I'm just got like a gentle breeze with that. So just accept and understand that healing has been taking place here just by the fact of him being able to come back and just say those simple words of, I'm sorry, I love you, I'm always there for you. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. I hope you've enjoyed your visit to Wimbledon.
I am enjoying
in an
my
official
visit.
Got some cake yet? And I think if you're lucky, you might get a toasted cheese sandwich. We don't charge extra for that.
You're not going to get rid of me.
So thank you all very much for today's service. Thank you all virtually and physically here in the church. I just wanted to say a few words before we start the closing down procedure. I just wanted to say, in the book of Ecclesiastes in the Old Testament, it says there is a time to be born and there's a time to die. I want to say to you, it's now our time to live and live this life and live this as best as we possibly can. We've all got infirmities of one thing or another. Some of us are better than others. Some of us ache more than others, but it's a time to live. And it's a time to put our spiritualism into practice, what we believe spiritually, what we know to be right for us. And we need to do that. So I was saying to both you out in the virtual world and here in Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, us, our dear Wombles, please live your spiritualism, live your life to the fullest. Yes, Mary, you can go.
I woke up, thoughts in my head, today is day one.
Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant. And I had a good year, 2021. So many people I know had a bad year, and there's so many people that I know this time round with COVID. And I have to say, it worries me because people don't always think of other people with this. And I think it's very important how we need to respect others with this, even if you don't believe in COVID. You don't believe what's going on. I've had a few people be upset with me because I've asked people when they come back to church just before Christmas and now to keep wearing masks unless you're exempt. And they're saying I shouldn't have to do that. Well, I'm trying to protect everybody. I'm not just trying to protect a person, one person. I'm trying to protect everybody. And it's important that we try to do that. And more importantly, be part of this world community. When President Obama was running for election of president, and he used to say so often in his speeches, we can enact change. And I believe we can do that ourselves as spiritualists. We can send out love and healing to so many people. The Tom, who we prayed for the last few weeks and he's now passed, what his actions by giving his body and his heart and his kidneys to others, that has enacted a change. And we could do so much more. I know I'm a grumpy old person. I'll clean that one up. And I know what it's like to be in discomfort and uncomfortable. I've not slept properly for about 6 or 8 weeks now because of the arthritis that I've got. But, you know, truly, I take these words from my dad. I could be worse off. I could be worse off. And we have to look at that. And those who knew my dad, he was more grumpy than I ever will be. But the thing is, in all jokes aside, and he can hear me, I'm not ashamed. I'm not scared either. Now he's gone. But in all honesty, as spiritualists, we can enact change. Be it you're a national spiritualist, a united spiritualist, Christian spiritualist, at the heart of it all, we are spiritualists. Yeah. Acknowledge that. Proclaim that. And whatever church you visit, whatever church you go to, respect what they want done or will not want done. Continuity of life is not just part of our religion, it's a fact. Mediumship this morning has shown that. Messages that I've received over the last few days in my own private meditations that have been wonderful and comforting. And I get that some of you aren't always able to do that. There used to be a lovely White Eagle meditation years ago called Crossing the Rainbow Bridge, where through a meditation you crossed this bridge. It was full of rainbows, and you met your loved one who had passed. And I can come into this church alone and know that I'm not alone. I feel the presence of my family before me, and I feel the presence of loved ones from the realms of spirit. I still get guidance from the presidents, past presidents of this church. I think I've known about 6 or 7 now. And we aren't alone. And we just don't say, yes, I understand it. Know it in your heart. Know it in your mind. 2022 is still going to be a challenge for us all, one way or another. But face that challenge. Stand there. Not quite say, bring it on, but basically what happens, happens. And how you enact that change that's happened in your life, that will make a difference. There is no death, and none of us are eager to get over to the other side till it's our time. But to go back to the book of Ecclesiastes, there is a time to be born and there is a time to die. There's a time for everything. And it's now our time to enjoy life. Take it with both hands and go forward. God bless you, friends. Thank you. Cheryl Boxall said, Ray, the pain is a sign that you're alive and still have lots to do. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. I remember that. I remember a couple of weeks ago when I was not feeling good with my eye, because I've had eye macular degeneration problem in my left eye quite badly. And all jokes aside, I laid there and I thought, oh, am I going blind? And I heard my mum say, Raymond, no, enough. I said, okay, Mum. So, we've got a lady here, Myra, saying, thank you for a lovely service for Spirit, Lawrence, and the words of living spirituality in a daily life. Blessings to all. So there's some nice comments there. Friends, we're coming to the end of our service. I just want to say our medium next week is Rose Anderson. On the 16th, it's Ashley Robinson. Never heard of him. On the 23rd, there's a guy called Frederick. I don't know of that person myself, truly. And on the 30th is Wendy Jack. I'll read them all out again. So look forward to meeting you here at Wimbledon Spiritualist Church. Just a reminder, our Friendship Club is still closed at the moment. Hatbridge remains closed due to COVID conditions. And I look forward to loving and meeting you all and sharing our lives, our life of the Spirit with each and every one of you. Good morning and God bless you. I now ask Lawrence to close our meeting with prayer.
Thank you. So once more, dear friends, still your mind. Leave the material, leave the emotional to one side. And know and trust that each and every time we have contact with Spirit, it enforces through the messages received either by ourselves or from those around us of that continuity of life. And in and through that knowledge that life is eternal, that death is a transition only. This should empower, uplift, and help us to realize the value of this time, to realize the value of this year coming up, to look for the opportunities, not to dwell in the negative, but to turn the negative into positive, to bring about the end of inaction by creating action, and knowing that you can do this through linking in, through your ancestry, through the love of Spirit, through the faith and knowledge in the God of your own understanding. Know that each and every one of us have that creative fiat within us, and it is up to us to express that in whichever way, without causing harm, without causing upset, without causing segregation, but to bring in life, love, and unity back into this, our world. Amen.
Amen. Once again, friends, thank Lawrence for his service this morning. Thank you all for being here, both online and here in the church. Good morning. God bless you all until we all meet again. Bye-bye.